This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. You see I'm in the ball jersey. That means we've got ball in Carstairs still. High noon is game time at Diamond 3 in Carstairs this afternoon. So if anyone's trolling around the northern Calgary region looking for something to do, why not come out, support your man, and have a little bit of fun watching some really good C Division ball at Beef and Barley Days in Carstairs. That said, before we get there, right, that's about a 46-minute drive from where I am. My friends, we've got some Edmonton Oilers news to get to right here, right now. Mattias Janmark is headed his way to the capital city of Edmonton, a bottom six forward who, according to Bob Stauffer, can play both wing and center. And this is where this gets really exciting. You hear the details, and you're telling me, as an Edmonton Oilers fan, how exciting that is to hear. 1 year, $1.25 million. That is perfect. Quite honestly, I don't think you could do it any better if you are Ken Holland, signing a guy who should be a regular 12-man contributor every single night of the season, if not at least 60 games this year at $1.25 million. The Oilers very little cap space left now. However, right, as we know, we've got this situation where it appears that Tyson Barrie will indeed be traded at some point this offseason. So the cap space isn't necessarily the issue. Obviously, if there's a Yes Puljujärvi trade, the cap space isn't an issue. You've got McLeod and Yamamoto. That's your only concerns on guys to sign. However, Mattias Janmark, if you go over here, $1.25 million, 29 years old. So this is not a guy like Derek Ryan. This is not a guy like Kyle Turris. This is a guy who is still very useful at 29 years old in his career, a 92-year birth date, and of course from Sweden. He was drafted way back by Ken Holland in 2013. So again, this is a guy Ken Holland knows and has played with before, kind of in terms of managing a team. So for Mattias Janmark, coming off a $2 million contract last season, so keep that in mind as well, and has played with the Dallas Stars in 15-16, 17-18, 18-19, 19-20. That's kind of where he made his bread and butter in his career, and then went to Vegas midway through last season. And then this year playing in Vegas, 67 games, 25 points. So you're talking about a guy in 82 games who projects out to be a 10-plus goal scorer in your bottom six. Whether Mattias Janmark replaces Josh Archibald, replaces Kyle Turris all in one, whatever you want to say, he is a guy that can definitely contribute you stuff in that bottom six role. And for the Oilers too, losing Josh Archibald to gain a guy who, according to, again, Bob Stauffer, is a guy who has been a useful penalty killer in his career. And the Oilers, following Dave Tippett there on his way out, really struggle on the penalty kill at times. This is a guy who could come in and boost your penalty kill quite substantially for the situation there. So that's where you're looking there for the Edmonton Oilers, is Ken Holland signs them to a deal, $1.25 million. What's he going to do? Hopefully give you 10 goals, give you about 20 points, and be a useful part of a successful penalty kill for the Edmonton Oilers this season. That is my expectations for Mattias Janmark. That's it. That's all. You've still got Derek Ryan. Secondary to that too is it looks like Warren Foegele may indeed be on his way out of Edmonton via trade this summer as well. So you kind of think about that. Janmark might as well replace Foegele there too. And then you've got Devin Shore still hanging around. So you got your 13th, 14th forward. And everybody else in the top six is there. So you got a little bit of work to do with the bottom six still. Obviously, McLeod, Yamamoto, Puljujärvi somehow figure into those top 9 roles. And then you just kind of figure everybody else out along the way. Derek Ryan, more than likely your fourth line center yet again this year, but Mattias Janmark could be a guy that steals that position out from under him and makes Derek Ryan a $1.25 million 13th, 14th forward with Devon Shore. So it depends on how you want to look at things, but I think the big dominoes still yet to fall are Tyson Barrie, are Warren Foegele, and that's where you'll really see the difference being made with the salary cap, the guys signing, and all that when it comes down to it. And you look at this too on the Oilers non-roster stuff. You got Brad Malone, Seth Griffith, Greg McKegg. So you got a couple of guys: Dylan Holloway, Carter Savoy, Raphael Lavoie, Noah Philp, and of course Xavier Bourgault, who are going to be projecting to be guys that push at camp as well. So there's a little bit to do here when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers and what they figure out for that lineup. But this is just a useful piece you sign that'll make things kind of easier at camp when you decide who do we have to have for roles, right? And yeah, so right, he's produced a career best 34 points in in a season high. So that's not where we're looking at Mr. Mattias Janmark to be a guy that changes the complexion of the bottom six by giving us a legit bottom six sniper or anything. That's not what we're looking for out of Mattias Janmark. What we are looking for out of Mattias Janmark is a serviceable piece that does not cost you anything, does not turn over pucks at an untimely time, does not right cost you. That's I guess what I'm just trying to say. Does not cost you, but adds a little bit of value to your game 5-on-5 and adds to that value on the penalty kill. That's all we're asking. I could bring up his advanced analytics and stuff. That I think does not matter when you're joining a new team, a new system. Yes, you can say, oh my goodness, but look at the value Duncan Keith brought in terms of his projected WAR chart and all that back in 2020, 2021, and then look at the improvement made coming to Edmonton. And it's not necessarily even in the analytics, just being a guy that was expected to cost you and not allow you to be serviceable, not allow you to make any kind of movement in the NHL this season. And the Oilers somehow riding Duncan Keith as effectively the second line left D all season long and through the playoffs, somehow got to the third round against the Colorado Avalanche. So it's part and parcel, right? You can read the analytics all you want, and I 100% have turned a page on them, and I do agree that you need to definitely take a vested interest in them. But when a guy's joining a new team, the biggest thing you got to do is give him a break until he gets on the ice. He can get 5-10 games of analytics with the new team under him, and then you can say, hey, okay, so this is what we've got. This is why we shouldn't be using them. Got it? Good to go. That's that point, folks. I'm Tyson. This is Dollar TV. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Like I said, Diamond 3, Carstairs, Beef and Barley Days, C Division. Let's go, right? Anybody want to come on down and support your fellow Edmonton Oilers fan? That'd be greatly appreciated. That said, I had some folks recognize me at the bar yesterday, and then he just turned out to be pulling my leg, and I'm like, whew. That was close because I've had a couple people recognize me in real life, and quite honestly, it's something you still don't get used to because it's something like, where do I know you from? Who are you? And then it's like, oh wait, you could be, and then they tell you, and it's like, okay, that explains it because I had no clue who you were. Right? Kind of funny situation. Just if you're ever wondering how that works on my end of things. So, folks, I'm Tyson, Dollar TV, up on out of here.